Good evening. I'd like to call the special council meeting to order at the Twinsburg Government Center Thursday, September 28th, 2023. The time is 5:30 p.m. Mark, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Barr.
Here.
Mrs. Walker.
Present.
Mrs. Labby.
Yes. Here.
Mr. Post.
Here.
Mr. Ballin.
Here.
Mr. Fury.
Here.
Mr. Deeds.
All right, thank you, Mark. At this time, I'd like to ask Councilman Fury to lead us in the invocation of Pledge of Allegiance.
We ask for your guidance and direction in all city matters before us tonight. We give you thanks that we are able to be together. Let us continue to strive to make our community a better place and help us work together that we may give our best always. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Fury. Due to the absence of Ms. Collins this evening, we'd like to appoint a clerk pro tem. So at this time, I'd like to make a motion to appoint Mark Gutowski as the clerk pro tem for September 28th, 2023. May I have a second?
A second. Yield.
Mrs. Walker seconds. Any discussion? Mark, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Barr.
Yes.
Mrs. Walker.
Yes.
Mrs. Labby.
Yes.
Mr. Post.
Yes.
Mr. Ballin.
Yes.
Mr. Fury.
Yes.
Mr. Deeds.
All right, the motion passes 6-0. Mark, do we have any audience participation this evening?
None tonight.
All right, that moves us on to legislation. Tonight, we're going to be looking at Ordinance 102, 2023.
An ordinance amending Ordinance 95, 2022 to authorize the mayor to enter into a substitute contract with Atlantic Emergency Solutions to allow for the purchase of a different fire apparatus to be used by the fire department and declaring an emergency.
Thank you, Mr. Gutowski. This time, I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules and place Ordinance 102, 2023 on its third and final reading. May I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Bellin seconds. Any discussion on the emergency?
Yeah, the reason for the emergency is we need to buy the truck ASAP. There are a couple of trucks down in Macedonia, and I believe there's only two, and we want one.
And a couple of potential buyers.
And a couple of other potential buyers, yes.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Any further discussion? Mark, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Barr.
Yes.
Mr. Ballin.
Yes.
Mr. Post.
Yes.
Mr. Fury.
Yes.
Mr. Deeds. Mrs. Walker.
Yes.
Mrs. Labby.
Yes.
All right, suspension of the three-reading rule passes 6-0. This time, I'd like to make a motion to adopt Ordinance 102, 2023 as an emergency. May I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Bellin seconds. Any additional discussion on 102, 2023? Hearing none.
I just want to make sure that I understand everything, and so that the residents might understand it. We contracted a vehicle in Ordinance 95, 2022. Subsequently, it has been determined that we need a different vehicle, which is the cause for the change. That's correct. Of the appropriation. That being said, originally in the plan, we had planned to potentially purchase another vehicle 4 or 5 years down the road, and the acquisition of this new vehicle will make that new acquisition not necessary.
That is correct.
i.e. saving the cost of that second truck.
We're reducing the fleet by one. Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Bellin. Anything else? All right, that concludes the discussion. Mark, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Barr.
Yes.
Mr. Ballin.
Yes.
Mr. Post.
Yes.
Mr. Fury.
Yes.
Mr. Deeds. Mrs. Walker.
Yes.
Mrs. Labby.
Yes.
All right, Ordinance 102, 2023 passes as an emergency, 6-0. Moves us along to absent members. This time, I'd like to make a motion to excuse Mr. Deeds from this evening's special council meeting. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Fury seconds. Mark, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Barr.
Yes.
Mr. Fury.
Yes.
Mr. Ballin.
Yes.
Mrs. Walker.
Yes.
Mrs. Labby.
Yes.
Mr. Post.
Yes.
All right, motion to excuse Mr. Dietz passes 6-0. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 5:35 PM. May I have a second?
Second.
Mrs. Walker seconds. Discussion. Mark, call the roll, please.
Mr. Barr.
Yes.
Mrs. Walker.
Yes.
Mr. Ballin.
Yes.
Mr. Fury.
Yes.
Mr. Deeds. Mrs. Labby.
Yes.
Mr. Post.
Yes.
All right, the motion passes 6-0, and at this time, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you.